Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan, and welcome to the studios on a Saturday. Talking a little real estate. Always excited to be with you. Talking real estate, talking so much, and it's the spring market. Hard to believe that this week is over. Now it's the weekend, and we got a little basketball, a little March Madness coming, a little SEC tournament, and you know we're talking about our Vols, so I've got to do that. I got to talk a little sports before we get into the show. But it's been a big week. If you've been following us on social media, we had a great giveaway for some fans and some Vols. We were giving tickets away to all the games on the SEC tournament. That started Friday yesterday, starts today, and then goes to the championship game on Sunday. So congrats to Jeremy Walker. Received tickets and a hotel on Hometown Realty. Proud sponsor of men's basketballs for the Vols. And, of course, your hometown experts. He was super excited. He's bringing his dad to the game. It's a father and son moment, and they're going to spend some time together and hopefully get some exciting pictures and come out with a big win. So excited for him. Got some news, as always, some congrats as we start our show. New listing on Lakeview Lane, 700 Woodward Lane, coming up here in Athens. Old Piney Road, nice building lot in Maryville. Want to make sure you check that out. 551 Kearney Road, Jeff County. Some congrats pending. 260 Circle Drive is under contract. 542 Ronald Drive is under contract. And then we have some Reguses. Now, I told you guys, maybe you heard about last show, but we are officially sold out of Regus. 101 unit building is completed. And we just had some solds yesterday. I want to congrats those guys. Regus on unit 515, unit 307, 308, and 309 just went sold as of yesterday. So if you want to know a little bit more about Regus Square and like to visit, we've got some great neighbors down there. Check us out, and you can go to my website at ryancoleman.org, and we have everything about Regus, and hopefully you had a chance to view some homes there, and maybe we'll have some resales coming up, but right now we're sold, but stay tuned. Subscribe to our page. You never know what's going to come on, new listings, new inventory, so we'll be the first ones to give it to you. Let's see. We'll have a good show today for you. April sends all the love. Hope everybody's doing well. I know the weather's changing. That means the market is ready to change as well, and we've been extremely busy, me and my team. We always say it comes in seasons. It comes in seasons. It's all or nothing, so we've been extremely busy. And, it's spring. So it's a time where people are selling, people are moving, and a little real estate news here kind of for the mortgage front. Kind of tell you what's going on. We know refinance last week dropped 9%. So refinance mortgages dropped 9% last week, and they dropped for the first time in 12 weeks. So that was interesting. And about 5 million people could benefit from refinancing. I know a lot of people have taken advantage of the opportunity of refinancing or purchasing, but with the rates going up, some people got a little nervous. Well, they made a little bit of adjustment, and we're seeing people take advantage of that. So if you're thinking about purchasing or refinancing, watch those interest rates. Right now, they've taken a little bit of a dip, so you could take an advantage. Mortgage rate applications last week were down 13%. Was the lowest from 2019, and the average 30-year mortgage conventional rate was about 4.06 in the marketplace. So that's just some mortgage interest rate news. How will that affect the local market? How will that affect us here in East Tennessee and Knoxville? Well, I think with the inventory where we're at, we're clearly in a seller's opportunity market, still seller's opportunity. And so with the limited inventory that we have, with new inventory rising, I know our office has just took a bunch of listings just this week, we're going to see more selection. I think we had some great clients, the Walkers that we just closed, and they relocated and moved to Ohio. And they were selling their home, and then they're going to purchase another one. And we were just able to help close theirs in South Knoxville and then close theirs on the same day in Ohio. And so we made it a smooth transition, but it was not without a little bit of stress. And I think that's what you're going to expect in this market. If you're a buyer, it's going to be a little stressful. I've had some great seniors that we listed in Powell yesterday, and they're going to start that journey. And we had to come back a second time, and they haven't bought a home in about 40, 45 years. And so we sat down and really spent some extra time. And that's what you're looking for in this market. You need an agent that you can trust. But more than anything, you need an agent that's going to kind of explain the whole process to you. Take your time. You know, some people have bought a lot of homes and been in the process for periods of time. My Walker's family that we just sold, they bought and sold maybe, Nick, 20 or 30 different homes over a period of time. But my great people that I listed yesterday, they haven't bought in 44 years. So it's a big cycle. And then you're going into one of the hottest markets that we've seen in a long time. Rates are rising. All kinds of things are going on in the news and across the country. And inventory is sluggish. And anything affordable, right? Anything probably, say, affordable, $400,000 or $350,000 and under, is a multiple offer or very hard to find. So, doing that in this market takes somebody that knows the market, but also that can walk you from start to finish. And that's a journey. And so we're always honored to be selected to do that. So if you guys are ever thinking about buying or selling and you need an expert in your corner or just want to interview a great agent, I know a team here that we can help you and would always walk you from start to finish. Remember, it's never about a sale. It's always about helping people and trying to get them in the journey. And my great people that we listed in Powell, they're downsizing. They need that one level. It's a season. They don't need the steps. And so it's going to go to a rancher, and it's a process for them. So excited to help them. Let's talk about our show today. We got a good one. And we say with the spring market and summer market, everything going on, you guys have followed the market, and we have a lot of relocation people coming throughout the area, a lot of people from other states. But how do you start that move? If you're in another state and you're listening to this broadcast, how do you start the relocation? Do you have a job here? Are you taking transfer? Or maybe your job with the COVID and everything went on, maybe you can work remote, or you found some different opportunities. Maybe you can go self-employed. You're going to start a new business, and we're moving to Tennessee. We're going to talk about today how to relocate, how to do it efficiently, where to start, what not to do. And then we're going to talk about why people are moving to East Tennessee on the second half, what makes East Tennessee great. And a lot of guys that are already East Tennessee's involved, right? You already know that. But we'll kind of go over some interesting facts and why people are excited to move here and relocate to our great state. So one of the biggest things you want to start doing is know where you're going to move. That sounds silly, but you kind of narrow down some areas. And a lot of that will come into play, obviously, if you're working for an employer. So if you're working for an employer, there may be some relocation packages, or maybe some things that come in involved when you're relocating to some of these cities and selecting areas. So if you're like me, have kiddos, schools are probably going to be top of the list before you decide where to go. A lot of good tools and information that you can research schools, crime rates, and a lot of different things there to do. One of the biggest things when we start our journey or we're from out of state is doing a little consumer shopping, a little consumer pairing. Do your research online. 87% of people that are looking for homes are going to start online. That's why one of the biggest things that you can have is an online marketing presence, both locally and out of state. And if you don't have that, you may be missing our out-of-state buyers that are listening to this show that are talking about relocating. So we want to look at communities, different subdivisions when you're starting. We talked about schools, how important that is. And East Tennessee and, of course, Knoxville community has some of the best private schools as well. Of course, we'll talk about the crime rate, but really coming from another big city, originally was from Virginia and born and raised there, and I'm a transplant. I'm a vol for life, of course, but the crime and things were a big concern when we left. And so some of the crime here is, of course, if you turn on the news, it's always the negative. There's always something going on. But I think overall, we have a lower crime rate than across the country. So those are things you want to check in. Also do your research when you're looking for your new home. Cost of living. With inflation on the rise, everything's outrageous. Nothing's affordable. And that's something that's very, very important on your move. East Tennessee has been one of the most affordable places with no state tax and a combination of different things. Cost of living, it ranks right on up there. I don't know where we exactly rank, Nick, cost of living wise, but we're very, very moderate. When the markets were changing over the years, and you get California going 36, 40% in 1 year, and we've always stayed within a 10% variant, even in house prices. And of course, as a country, we're always up as a whole, but Tennessee has always been moderate and conservative, and the cost of living is relative to the rest of the U.S. So one big thing is, hey, Ryan, can I move to another state without a job? I don't have a job yet. Can I get a loan for the next home that I buy without it? Actually, we do have some programs and some opportunities that you don't have to have a job already set up but you can get one within a certain period of time. But most lenders are going to want you to have permanent financing or a job placement order to give you permanent financing. So it is important. Depends if you're in a nurse, a medical field, a lot of different things come into play. That's why the first thing you want to do is get with a great agent and talk to a lender, talk about some financing and your different options. We're coming on a break here, coming on the halftime, but stay with us. We're going to talk more about relocating and what makes East Tennessee great, why we have so many people relocating to our great state. You guys stay with us. We'll talk to you on the break. I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, ma'am.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown
He
Realty.
says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taken too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel.
All right, guys, back from a break. If you're tuning in the first time, my name's Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, and we're talking about relocating from one state to the next. Such a big move. How do you do it? How do you cover it? I've been there. It wasn't easy, and the first thing you want to do is have a great agent in your corner. You have to have somebody that you can count on that knows this area that you're moving to, that knows housing, that knows costs, that knows contractors. Simple things like I have a pup. I had a Doberman, and a little baby, man, my buddy. He was with me 13 years, and fence was important. If you guys have fur babies, that's everything. So little things like that you don't think about, but you need somebody you can trust. So that's the first thing we're talking about. And Nick was telling me in the first part of the break, did you believe we're 15% below the cost of living? So 15% lower than the average cost of living East Tennessee, baby. That's why everybody's coming here. And some things why people are moving to Tennessee. Jobs are 32%, family is 29%, retirement 22%, and just lifestyle change. So we were talking on the break about how can you move without having job placement. Of course you can. And a lot of people with the COVID deal have decided that they can work from home, and a lot of employers are flexible with that. But you do want to talk to a lender to make sure you're pre-approved. The first thing you want to do, along with getting a great agent. Having a great agent, they're going to have contacts, great lenders, save you money on closing costs, interest rates. And of course, before you pack your whole family up, you want to make sure that that move is doable and we don't have any issues there. Moving on a budget, obviously, will you get a relocation plan? Is your employer going to pay any cost? I know a lot of relocation plans, they include an agent or a company to have as an agent. You really have to examine that. I'm a firm believer that you got to put your best people in play. So if you have a great agent and maybe they're not part of the relocation program where you're saving a buck or two, really compare. Because an aggressive agent in this marketplace, somebody that has a lot of contacts and that can help you with the move, may save you the $1,500 or $2,000 package that your company puts in the deal. Remember, those numbers are probably going to be passed on to you, the consumer. So always compare that. Sometimes you guys don't, and we work with a lot of corporate relocations as well. This is something to think about, okay? About tax liabilities for moving to East Tennessee from another state. Talk to your CPA about that. How about if you're leaving a lease or if you're renting? If you're renting, is there a cancellation agreement in your lease? Make sure you check that. How much notice do you have to give? And can you give it to a 30-day? Maybe you convert it to a month-to-month lease. Very opportunity there. Let's see, what else? Moving costs. So many things are moving. We won't spend the whole show on talking about that, but your moving costs are obviously going to come down to, are you going to move? You're going to hire movers. Obviously, if you're paying the rent or your mortgage from your current house, so we need to get it empty. So you have some carrying costs, closing costs. How about the home that you're selling out of state? Maybe it needs some repairs. It's spring season. We got to do a little curb appeal. We got to freshen up the landscaping. Let's put all that down on a budget. Our good friend Dave Ramsey will talk to you about that. Make sure you keep in budget. And when you purchase your new home, make sure you don't go too much out of budget, because that's so important and so easy in this market where everything is overinflated to extend your budget. Okay. Let's see. Personal movers, the range. Everybody asks me with today's cost, I hate to even quote or even talk about it. What does it cost to move? I like to say, I don't even know anymore. But typically, an out-of-state move could be in excess of $10,000 or more. Depends on how much stuff that you have, and are you packing it all yourself, or are they boxing it up themselves? So just a combination, or you can do both. It just really depends on what you're looking for. They can move all the big items, and you can take the small. Local moves are somewhere about $5,000 and under or less. Make sure some things when you're getting movers. Try to get a quote not to exceed. Make sure your quote has a given price, that there's no surprises. Make sure you have, if you're going to rent temporarily, make sure you get renter's insurance so all your items are covered. And then let's say this is the big deal. Nobody wants to talk about this. Well, what happens if the inevitable sometimes happens? Real estate is always forever changing. There's always something going on. Lender didn't get the package, or something happens where you don't close exactly on the day you're supposed to, and it's delayed a day. What are those options? Go ahead and cover those now. If everything's packed up on your truck, do they charge you extra? What is that rate? And will they have the ability to store items on your truck if for some reason your delay was delayed by, let's just say, a day or two? Hopefully nothing longer than that. Moving containers are big. I know a family that we just listed in Pile the other day. They got a bunch of moving containers, very valuable, and that adds up pretty quickly. But if you can pack those in those moving containers, it makes the moving process and movers come in very, very easy. And then you could do it like me and my wife. We did the DIY. We did our move, our first sale for a while. Never do it again, but we did it, and we had some friends and family that helped out, and we could get a moving truck and U-Haul, and yeah, it took us several days, maybe a week or longer. And so you really just got to make a decision. If you've got some good friends and pizza and beer and opportunity to help you move in, well, maybe that's an option to save some money. Or maybe you get some of the big items and you do the small items. There's a lot of different options out there. And then we have some movers that are really, really affordable as well. So be glad to give you any of those informations. Let's see some of the details before we get into that. Let's see. I think the biggest thing is we'll post on our website, ryancoleman.org. I'll have a moving checklist. Okay. And we'll have that in one of our latest blogs. Give us about a couple days. We'll get that out for you. And anything we didn't cover here, hopefully you can reference that. And our blog will help you hopefully make that move successful. Hopefully you come into East Tennessee, and we'd love to help you. We know a great agent now. If you don't know a great agent, you know one on the radio, and we'd be glad to help you. That's what we do as a company. Let's talk about why people are coming to East Tennessee. Let's say you're new on the radio, or you just moved here. You don't know much about East Tennessee and Tennessee specifically. We're going to talk about it. Did you know that U.S. and Tennessee is actually landlocked between North Carolina and Arkansas? And that Tennessee earned its nickname as the Volunteer State back in 1812 for allowing 3,500 volunteers to join the Tennessee militia. Might need a militia going on, reinvent them, get them back in. It was answered by almost 28,000 Tennesseans. I didn't know that. And this was during the Mexican-American War in 1840. A call for 2,800 volunteers was answered by 30,000 Tennesseans. Is that pretty cool or what? We talked about some of the reasons people are moving to East Tennessee. One of the biggest ones I moved was retirement. Of course, I'm not at retirement age yet, but Forbes had East Tennessee and Knoxville as a whole ranked as one of the top places to relocate. I mean, just the lakes, the parks, the people, things to do is one of the greatest things that we really love about East Tennessee, and ranks 22% of why people are moving to Tennessee. Job markets as a whole in Tennessee the unemployment rate was 3.8, which is 0.01 lower than the national average. Major cities in Tennessee are Nashville. Of course, they call it the Music City. You go Knoxville, my home, man. Home of the University of Tennessee Vols, where spirited fans go crazy. That's right, man. We're us Vols. We're passionate about our Vols. And one of the biggest things, if you're coming to East Tennessee, if you got different colors, it's okay. get used to the orange. We adopt the orange. The orange is a common color here, man. You got to get some orange in your closet. So Chattanooga, Southeast Tennessee, beautiful adventure, rafting and mountain hiking. And then Memphis has the blues. And that's where Mr. Elvis Presley, Graceland Mansion is. So much going in there. Year-round weather in East Tennessee, or Tennessee as a whole. We got sunny blue skies, warm weather. Sometimes we get some rain. You know about that here in East Tennessee. And we're ranked 6th in the country for most rainfall and precipitation, about 65 inches compared to the U.S. average. Well, so it happens. We get some flooding. Not norm. It is the norm here. It happens, but it's nothing too bad here in East Tennessee. And then we get some tornadoes and some windstorms. So, we get a little bit of everything. We have a music scene, of course. Of course, Nashville is Music City, and it's got the Country Music Festival and a whole lot of things going on there. We're Smooth Tennessee Whiskey, number 7. We won't get into that because I don't have a long time to talk about it, but it's one of the best. And then we got Tennessee's Southern Barbecue. Definitely don't want to miss that. And then the Great Smoky Mountains, which is in our backyard, right? We have, did you know we have over the 400 parks across the U.S. that the Smoky Mountains have over 12 million people visit as a whole, along with Dollywood Family Amusement Park, which is right down the street. Then if you're thinking about college, we've got the Tennessee Promise programs, Tennessee sports, and so much more to talk about. But that's why people are moving to East Tennessee. That's why you guys call it home. And that's why your hometown realty experts have got your back. Whether you're moving from out of state, whether you're moving to our state, we can help you at any time. We'd love to help you. This is what we do. We create relationships and kind of create those clients for life. Okay. If you need me, my name is Ryan Coleman, and the best number is 693-SOLD, or visit us at ryancoleman.org. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next Saturday.